This is the new Fujifilm XE5, and I am happy that I am one of the few that have actually gotten mine, since I did not actually place a pre-order, but my local camera shop loves me and I love them, so they were able to set this one aside for me. Brian here at Random Tech. I know that we are all complaining recently about these tariffs and the impact that they've had on camera prices, but the unintended consequence of these tariffs that is actually a really, really good thing, at least for us here in the United States, is that cameras like this X-E5 and the X106 and the X-T5, I think the X-T50, the production has switched from China to Japan. Now, there are a ton of people out there that are in the camp that where it's made does not make a difference. I am not in that camp. I have owned Fujifilm cameras for a very, very, very long time. I had sold many of them when I switched over to Sony back in 2022. Part of the reason why I had switched over was because the cameras that were coming out of China, specifically the X-T3, that was their first foray into China with their cameras, the build quality was not the same as the prior two that I had, the X-T1 and the X-T2. And I am happy to report that now that these cameras are once again being made in Japan, you are seeing a significant bump in quality, build quality specifically. This camera, I know a lot of people are complaining about the price of this camera. I think it's $1,699, $1,700, and compared to the old X-E4, it is significantly more expensive. Part of that is tariffs, but the other piece of it is this camera is 1,000 times better built than that piece of crap X-E4. I had tried that out briefly at my local camera store years ago, and when I put that in my hand, I'm like, what is this plastic mess? This X-E4 is not plastic. It is like aluminum metal on the top, on the bottom. I think this is also metal. And it just feels like a very premium compact camera. So much so that I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge Leica fan, but I don't know that I would recommend picking up a Leica when something like this exists. I recognize that this does not have weather resistance, but I don't know if I buy that, because this is built on the same chassis as the X106, which is weather resistant. So even though they are saying that this is not weather resistant, I have a hunch that if you took this out in the rain, you wouldn't have any problems, especially with a weather resistant lens. So I'm kind of on this strange journey right now where I have purchased an X-E5. I also purchased an X-T5 that is also made in Japan. I had an X-T5. For those of you who follow my channel, you'll know I purchased the 16-55 Mark II lens, and I tried that out with the X-T5 that I had, but I was never super happy with the X-T5 that I had because, once again, it was made in China and the build quality, in my opinion, was not great. The X-T5 that I have now, the one that is made in Japan, it is significantly better. So I don't get it why there are so many people out there saying like, it doesn't make a difference, they're just putting a label on it. Absolutely not. Like these control wheels, I don't know how well you can hear this here. Let me be quiet for a second. They're great. And this one is actually a little bit softer than the X-T5, but the X-T5, those control dials, unfortunately, I don't have it with me because it's in the car because we're going on a trip here shortly. But the X-T5, when I pressed into those command wheels, it was absolute mush, the ones on the camera that was built in China. And the one that's coming out of Japan, it is like perfect. It is exact. It is like exactly how you would expect the command wheel to be pushed in to feel like. And it's just like a world of difference. And even just the overall build quality, you can just feel it when you pick it up. It just feels like a better built camera. I don't know how to describe it other than that. So for those people that are saying like, it doesn't make a difference, maybe to you it doesn't, but for those of us who have used these cameras for a number of years and have like, I don't know, just can intuitively tell how a camera is put together, I say it makes a huge difference. Let's talk about the X-E5 for a second. I just picked it up yesterday, so I really haven't been able to put it through its paces. But my initial impressions is that this is probably going to be my daily driver. I've been using the X106 for the past year and a half or so, and that camera is awesome. I'm not saying that it isn't, but the build quality on this, again, this one is made in Japan, I'll say is a step up. Although I will say the X106 is one of the few cameras that is coming out of Japan that I think is pretty, that is coming out of China that is pretty decently built. So that might be the one exception to that general rule. But this XE5 is a powerhouse of a camera in just such a tiny form factor. You can see the lens I have on here is the 35mm 1.4, and even this lens looks a little big on this camera because this camera is just so small and tidy. It's just fantastic. And one of the features that I really like, and I know some people are like upset about this, that it doesn't have a fully articulating screen, but this thing pops up like this and you can very easily take a selfie, which I do with my family all the time. We're always like, doing it with a phone, but it's nice to have a camera now where we can do that. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this camera. Like in general, I think this camera is all about fun. Like at the same time, you can use it like professionally if you wanted to with this 40 megapixel sensor. But I'd say most people are just going to have this like on their shoulder or in their hand and just go walk around and just capture some images. It really is just a go anywhere type of camera. And I got the silver instead of the black. I don't normally get the silver, but this is again all metal. So the XE4 is a painted plastic surface that looks silver. So within like a couple of weeks, that top plate gets all scratched up, and it when the scratches show through, it shows up black, right? Because it's just paint. It's just like a silver paint. This is not. This is actually aluminum. So this is going to, I think, hold up much better over time, similar to the X106. So I don't know, like, what your thoughts are on this XE5 or just Fujifilm in general right now. I feel like they are absolutely killing it with their most recent releases, and I am so happy that they are putting these cameras or bringing these cameras back to Japan to be built. I think it is a huge difference between the two, between both China and Japan, and you can leave a comment and let me know if you disagree, but those are not going to sway my opinion one way or the other. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Let me know what you think of this camera, this XE5. I will do a follow-up video at some point over the next couple of weeks, talking a little bit more about my shooting experience with it, but I am excited to take it on a little mini vacation here in the next day or two and put it through its paces. That's all I have for today. If you did enjoy this video, make sure that you smash the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care.